How does it all work? People ask me all the time, how is it that just adjusting my neck can somehow affect my leg length, can somehow bring my hips back to balance? And I'm going to answer that by showing you my chart, my favorite poster that I always go over. Matter of fact, I used to keep like 10, 20 maybe different posters and charts throughout the office. I became a minimalist then, and I picked my best poster and I kept it on the wall. And I want to talk about this here in a second, but let me zoom out here and just share a short story with you about how I even got into chiropractic in the first place. This right here, believe it or not, is my spine. That's about 5 years ago. That's how crooked my spine is. That's looking at me from the back. All right. That curve right there is about 46 degrees. They will often consider doing surgery on a person, putting rods all the way down the spine. There's anything right around 40 degrees, just to give you some reference. So when I was in chiropractic school, I was very concerned because my curves were getting worse and worse. And I did some research on my own. I busted my wrist, and so I couldn't do this type of adjusting anymore. And I had to look for some different things. So I got up really early one day. I went to Hartford, South Dakota, and I saw a NUCA chiropractor there who was taking care of people from Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, Minnesota, Iowa, just all over the place, this farming town in the middle of nowhere, you know. And I was just amazed at how he's getting all these results with these people from all over the place. And so I was intrigued, and I wondered if, hey, maybe it could help me with my own scoliosis. And so one of the really cool, I purchased this set of books. It's the same, it's a 2-volume thing. It's the Occipital Atlanta Axial Subluxation Complex. Basically, it's an imbalance in the top of the spine. And one of the really cool studies that I was looking at here, and this is my notes from way back in Chiropractic College, it talks about how they purposely injured the sidemost part of these rabbits in 1987. There's this study that was done. And believe it or not, these critters developed scoliosis. And this is interesting because for the most part, rabbits are like not even lined up against gravity. So that suggests a structural, neurological, functional, and then in effect, a structural imbalance all the way down instead of some random, coincidental, unexplainable structural deformity. And I thought that was really interesting. I used to walk around like this. My head was positioned way over here in reference to my hips, my lower back. I have very short hair. I've always had short hair. Back in high school, college, I often cut my own hair, and I have to go like that and bend over like this. After my first adjustment, my first NUCA adjustment by a gentleman in Tulsa, Oklahoma, I was cutting my hair, and would you believe that my hips were actually balanced underneath? My head was on straight, basically. And so I became a believer, and that's why I do the work that I do. So neurologically, we are a lot like rabbits. If this is your brainstem, and the brainstem is about as thick as the tip of my pinky, you have all these different wires that go in different places, maybe some to your heart, to your lungs. The sidemost wires go into the cerebellum, which is in charge of controlling the tone of the muscles that go all the way down the spine. So kind of like a puppeteer. The top, the cerebellum, kind of dictates the function and the tone and the tension and all the different muscles in your spine side to side. So here's how it works. You have an imbalance up here. You have a structural imbalance. The atlas and the weight of the head shifts off over center. It's only going to do that so much before the neurology, the nerves kick in, and now there's this spastic, predominantly on one side versus the other, contracture of the spine, and this is what causes that apparent short leg or imbalanced hip. It's not anatomically short necessarily. It's physiologically shortened. It's an effect. It is an effect of the cause, the global cause going on up here. And so we remove the imbalance by adjusting the atlas, and that helps to decrease the tension imbalance side to side of the spine, bringing the hips back towards level and the leg length back down. We're talking a lot about muscles and scoliosis and bone and the curves and things like that. Just always remember, chiropractic is about nerve flow, nerve flow. And that's why we do what we do here, to optimize your nerve flow so that you can be all that you were meant to be.